So I think we need to have a little chat. I was editing the most recent no buy year video and I just realized that the last couple updates have all been money related. Money. It was just like so irritating to listen to myself because talking about money is so rude. Obviously, that's not true. And the money is really important. That's like a huge part of why I'm doing this no buy year, right? But it isn't the only reason. I would argue it isn't even the most important reason. Yes, I want to pay off the debt and I want to get a good savings account and I want to be better about my retirement and I want so many things, but I want to feel financially stable. But I started this because I don't want to be a slave to consumerism anymore. I want to be more self-reliant and independent. I want to learn for myself and also for my son that the answer to every single one of our problems is not a product. It's our own ingenuity. Not necessarily talking about growing all my own food or making my own clothes. And like going off grid. I like the convenience that my phone provides me. I also like getting a haircut from a professional every once in a while. And it is totally nice to get yourself something new. But unfortunately for me, when I was telling myself I was only doing those things every once in a while, I was actually doing them like every other day. And I bet if you take a look at your bank statements, you might be doing it more often than you think you are too. But I am not here to wax poetic. What I'm here to do is give you an update on the actual like goals I set for myself in my original no buy year video. Cause I like literally haven't talked about them at all in any of the month wrap up videos. So let's remind ourselves even what my goals for 2024 were. And I literally had to go back and look at the outline for the original video to remember, which is probably not great. So number one, no alcohol for the house. So I wasn't going to buy any bottles of alcohol for myself for the house. I'm a big whiskey girl. I love me a silver rum, but I still haven't done it. We definitely had a little bit of leftover from like the holidays, but that pretty much was used up in February. So we have not purchased any spirits for the home. You guys will remember, this is my project, not something for my husband. He can do whatever he likes, whenever he likes with any of his money. He buys himself beer, but because I'm also not buying alcohol, he's drinking less. So it's basically like a win-win all the way around. I am drinking way more water. I got myself an excellent water bottle with an Amazon gift card, and it's glass. It's a sustainable, frugal, minimal dream of a water bottle. Anyway, so I'm drinking more water. And yes, I am also using my SodaStream more, which is not like super great, but I'm gonna go with not having alcohol is a win. So no alcohol purchased in Q1. Number two was no books. And you may be like, Casey, why would you deny yourself books? It's one of your favorite things, but I don't need new books. And I also don't need any more physical books. I have plenty. I didn't even realize how many I had until we counted every single item in our house. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. And we definitely don't have anywhere near as many as that 300,000 item number that gets thrown around as like the average number of items in a household. Anyway, I digress. Now I almost slipped up and I almost bought an ebook the other day. And I'm so glad I didn't because I had forgotten entirely about this rule. And luckily I looked at it right before I bought this book and I was like, oh, thank goodness. I wasn't supposed to buy any books. Now, why the rule on ebooks? I have Libby. If you don't know about Libby, a lot of public library systems in the country have basically like a platform for digital ebook loaning, and I use that all the time. I have been a big fan of the library for a long time, and I go there on a regular basis, and I have even in this no buy year, believe it or not, borrowed a physical book from the library. Shock and horror from the crowd. It's also really encouraged me to reread books in my library, which has been so wonderful because I'm like being reintroduced to these stories that I love and adore. And what's great is I'm reminded of why I want to keep these books. And there also have been a couple that I've reread that I'm like, why did I hold on to this? I don't necessarily need to keep this in my permanent collection. I can go and donate this. I can sell it at a secondhand bookstore. It's good. It's good stuff. I love reading. 3 was no new clothes. I have not purchased any new clothes either this year. Yay! All the clothes I have received and brought into our home have either been gifted to us or they have been secondhand. That's clothes for me and that's clothes for Emmett. I don't think my husband's bought any clothes either. Unless you count period underwear, which I don't, but those definitely were not used. Now I do have an event coming up that I am actively hunting for a dress for. I've been asked to be a part of this panel on women business owners, and that's very exciting. And I want to look really professional. I want to look really put together. I am committed to buying a dress secondhand, but as a business owner and as a mom with a young kid, It is hard to find time to thrift, but I'm trying. I am determined not to break this rule this year. Side note, I love this shirt. I was at Plato's Closet the other day looking for this imaginary fantastical dress, and I saw this shirt on the rack at Plato's Closet, and I had to get it. It says minimal. Thrifting gods were shining their light down on me that day. So those were my red light items. Those were the things that I was like, no alcohol, no books, no new clothes. Do not buy them in 2024. You can do anything for a year, including not buy new things. And I've done it so far. Yay! And for our first time doing a no buy anything, week, month, year, I'm pretty proud that I was able to get through an entire quarter of not buying those things. Now, did I stick to those things by mostly forgetting that they were rules? Yes. But that's okay. Now, I also had some yellow light items or some reined in items that I wanted to just decrease. Like if I needed to buy them, that was okay, but I wanted to not just like spend openly on them. Furniture and housewares. Now we bought a house. It was a bigger house than what we were in before, but we knew we wanted to really invest in this minimal lifestyle, mostly to like make it easier to clean, make it easier to maintain. We don't need a bunch of furniture. We don't need a bunch of stuff. To be honest, I can't remember if I bought any housewares. That's a lie. I'm sitting here looking right now at a box with a new ceiling fan in it. But I haven't bought like pillows or blankets or any sort of like of that kind of stuff. Anyway, so no housewares that I can think of. Now we have purchased some baby proofing items. So we have some magnet locks on the doors now. We do have a baby gate. We do need another one. We were gifted the outlet plugs by my parents over the holidays. But yet again, these are the yellow light list. These are things that I'm allowing myself to purchase, but I just want to be mindful when I'm purchasing them. Being like, I don't want to fall into the trap of like thinking that a baby product is going to solve all my problems and purchasing it and then be inundated with baby things. Because this is a really easy time for marketers to take advantage of the insecurities that us young parents have. And I'm not gonna fall prey to that, or at least I'm gonna try. So number 2 was baby growth needs in this category. So we've kind of already talked about that. I haven't purchased anything new for him. Everything's been off Facebook Marketplace or Once Upon a Child. Now he doesn't need a lot right now. Right now he is just super excited to run around in his go-kart. I just went to Once Upon a Child the other day and sold them a couple of items, and then I picked up some shorts for him because we're about to get into the summer. So now he has like 10 sets of bottoms and then like onesies for days. And you guys can keep sleeping on Once Upon a Child if you want, but the prices cannot be beat. And also, depending on the Once Upon a Child you go to, like some of them are really neat and tidy. They're better than shopping at Target. My Target is an absolute mess most of the time, especially in the children's section. Stuff is thrown all over the place. I can't find the sizes. You got all sorts of stuff mixed together. The Once Upon a Child near me is neat as a pin and always really easy to find what I need, and they have a great selection. So do yourself a favor and save some money and get yourself some cute baby clothes. Just saying. So those were the yellow light items. Green light items. Things that I will not feel bad about purchasing at all. Food and drink out with friends. This has been fantastic. Not because I've like gone out to eat every week with friends of mine. No. But it is very easy as a new parent to be like, no, I want to stay home. I'm tired. I don't want to go anywhere. I also work really odd hours as a photographer. That being said, when I am invited out, or if I am out with my friends, I am very happy to go out and have a cocktail with them or to go out and have dinner with them. And we've done it a couple times, but the release of knowing that I can spend money on that this year has allowed me to feel empowered to call my friends and be like, yeah, let's go. I'm out, you're out. We just worked on this show. Let's go do this thing. Whatever. Let's get dinner beforehand. And it's been really, really nice to help build some deeper bonds with some friends that maybe if I was a little lazier would fall by the wayside because of this time in my life that I'm in. Number 2 in the green light list was paint. I got one of the projects done that I like originally put this on the list for, which was rails, like side rails for Emmett's bed. My dad built them for me. He did it in record time, and so it took me only a month and a half to actually paint them down. But they are done, they are painted, they match the curtains, they look great. The office is the other thing that I really wanted to paint this year. I'm going to do it, it's going to happen. We're picking up the new bookshelves, that's a whole other process. There will be a video about it, I'm sure, because I have no chill. I haven't bought as much paint as I thought, and also the tiny little quart of paint that I bought for his rails was like $15. So I'm learning that this wasn't going to be as big of an expense as I thought it was going to be. And luckily I have like a really good place to recycle extra paint. So moral of the story, I did buy paint. I'm planning on buying more, but I haven't needed to buy as much as I thought I was going to need this year. So that was it. That was the green light list. Those were all of the stipulations I gave myself. Now, if you are considering doing a no-buy year, I highly encourage you not to put too many stipulations on yourself because it'll just kind of box you in and make it feel more of like a restrictive project rather than really a freeing project as it's supposed to be. So I'm really happy with the goals that I set for myself. They haven't been too restrictive. As I said earlier, I almost forgot about most of them, but I haven't been buying those things anyway. So what have I learned and experienced in this first quarter, this first 3 months of this project? Of my first, but probably not my last, no-buy year. Also, if you're watching this video and you're like, Casey, what are you even talking about? What no-buy year? Go check out my playlist. I have now done 3-month wrap-ups on my no-buy year where we go into graphs. We talk about the money. We talk about my debt pay down. We talk about building up my savings. How would you not know about that by now? I don't know. But if you're new here, go follow along. So what have I learned? Number 1, this isn't so much a no-buy year as it's only buy what you need year. So if you're following along, you know that I'm like still spending money on food and some non-essentials, or what Caleb Hammer would like consider non-essentials. I bought some herbs to refresh our herb garden. Did I need those? No. Anything I bought on Amazon, was it an absolute must-have? Probably not. Or any of the stuff I bought on Facebook Marketplace? Probably not 100% necessary. But I just did the math. And so far this year, according to my records, which are my bank statements, but also the pie graphs that I've been using in each one of my monthly wrap-up videos, I've only spent a little over $300 total this year on things that were non-essential. So that is anything that wasn't a bill, like a water or power or a gas bill or a mortgage, and wasn't savings or gas for my car. That's it. $300. I would challenge you to go look at your last month's bank statement and see how much money you spent on non-essential things. $300 for the whole year is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So even just limiting myself to just buying what I need, not necessarily saying don't buy anything, has already shrunk my spending. That's averaging out to be about $100 a month. That's like a toilet paper fund. That's just stuff that comes up that you're like, oh gosh, this would make my life a little bit easier if I had one of these. And luckily, because of the work I've done with minimalism, because the work I've done on sustainability and frugality over the last couple of years, since COVID, I'm able to pretty specifically nail down exactly what I need. So when I went looking for a water bottle, I was like, well, I know I don't want a plastic one, and I know I don't want one with a complicated top. I would prefer one that's glass. I would prefer one with some measurements on it, so I've got goals oriented throughout my day, so I know how much water I need to drink. And I was able to go and look very specifically for that item. See, the internet isn't all bad. We can look very specifically for the items that match our needs exactly and spend our money on those things. I feel no guilt for any of the things I've purchased this year. See, a no-buy year isn't restrictive, it's freeing. Second thing I've learned, I am so much more content than I was when I was buying things. Let me explain. I'm not just mimicking all the other YouTubers on here talking about how not buying things is nice. Seriously, I'm less bored. Because I'm not constantly reaching for a product, because I'm not online shopping or looking at things all of the time, I am able to find peace and entertainment and contentment with all the things in my life that I already have. I have plenty of books. I have a TV. Yeah, we only have like 2 streaming services, but there's plenty to watch. I also have a 10-month-old baby who is a lot of fun to play with. I also love doing yoga, and now that it's spring, I love doing it outside. Because I'm constantly not looking for that next gadget to entertain me and distract me from my problems and from the world around me, I'm so much more relaxed. I guess I'm just really happy with not only the bigger bank account numbers, but the fact that my first intention when I need something isn't to hop online and order it on Amazon. It's not to buy something. Oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna go buy a board game. Oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna go download this new movie or TV show. Oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna go pay money to go to this amusement park. My first inclination is, do I have anything else that'll like fill this need for me? Do I have anything else that'll do this job? Do I know anyone who can do this for me or help me or let me borrow something to complete this task? And that leads me to be more resilient, independent, and more community-minded. And that's something that I want to learn for myself, but also that it would be so much easier if my son just learned it from the get-go. And let me be clear, I didn't grow up in a super consumerist household. We recycled, we only got new things when we needed them. But with the growth of the internet age, and with anything you want being available at the drop of a hat, it would be really easy for me right now, especially over the course of the last couple years, with the crazy mental highs and lows and physical highs and lows and financial highs and lows, to fill all of my needs with stuff. And the reason I make these videos is because I want to show what a real person, not like an influencer, literally just a human being on the planet, is doing that's making a real difference, and how much garbage I produce on this planet, and how mental health is so tied to our need to purchase things, or our need to feel special by owning something new or going somewhere cool. I'm really satisfied, and I'm really starting to become more and more satisfied with how at peace my house feels, how chill my baby is, how chill me and my husband are, because we've invested in this kind of perspective shift, is what I'll say. You know, it's not a cult. Like, I'm not sitting here like trying to change your mind, but I am trying to let you know, like, the world is on fire, and we can literally help by just not buying as much crap on Amazon or Temu. Oh my God. Oh baby, we got some work to do. I digress. Now, some things that are keeping me buoyed right now, and some things that are keeping me inspired and committed to this, I'm doing a lot of reading on like eco-thrifty stuff and ecology in general, just to kind of educate myself on, you know, where really are we with the state of plastics, not only in this country, but in our world. What are some ways that I can be more environmentally friendly while not spending a ton of money? Because a lot of like environmentally friendly products are really expensive, right? So if you go and try to buy a sustainably made pair of jeans as compared to like a regular pair of jeans, they're usually more expensive. You know, getting a garden set up can cost a bunch of money, even though it saves you a lot of money in the future. So how can I save money but also like be environmentally friendly and become a little more resilient? This kind of reading is really helping me like stay focused. It's helping me stay focused in that, like, when I go to these festivals where there are a lot of booths and lots of things for sale, especially lots of beautiful art, I can stay focused and remember, like, okay, it'll be a goal next year. You'll pay off all your debt. You can come back to this festival and buy that $3,000 painting. But you have to do the work first. Anyway, that was just a little bit of a rambling chat about how my no-buy year is going. Non-finances version. Because we talk about the money all the time. But really, it's about the lifestyle shift. Really, it's about changing our lifestyle so that we don't get into that hole again. So we don't spend all of our money on things that we don't necessarily need right then and there. So that we can become more reliant on our imaginations, on the things that we already have in our community to satisfy our needs instead of asking Mr. Bezos to satisfy all of our needs. So that was the No Buy Lifestyle review. We will be back talking about money in the April No Buy Year April review. But for now, I just wanted to make sure that we talked and kept our focus on the fact that, like, we are doing this not only because it's about the money, but it's also about the lifestyle shifts. If you like this video, please like it. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Any and all money that is earned from YouTube goes into Emmett's college fund, so send your boy to Harvard, why don't you? And I'll see you in the next one. All right, until then, bye.